I want to thank you all for coming to my talk. I know you could have gone to the beach or a mountaintop or a beautiful hiking trail, but you chose to come here, so I appreciate that. You're the go-getters, the people who are going to make Web3 amazing, so give yourselves a pat on the back for that. My name is Christian Montoya, and today I'm going to be presenting MetaMask Snaps. So I'm going to be covering what is Snaps, why is it so important, and I will give you some examples of what you can build today with Snaps. So first of all, what is it? Let's dive in. At MetaMask, we care deeply about decentralization. Decentralization is one of the core guiding principles that guides the design of our products. And we also care deeply about putting users in control. Despite what you may have heard, MetaMask puts users in full control of their wallet experience. It allows users to customize which nodes they connect to, which RPC providers they use, and even which tokens they add to their wallets. And we do not store users' emails or other identifiers or their financial information. We give users full control of their Web3 experience, and that's why they trust us so much. But we also want to empower developers to do more with MetaMask as well. And one way that we are pioneering this mission of decentralization is by decentralizing MetaMask itself with Snaps. Snaps allows anyone to extend the functionality of MetaMask without having to ask for permission from us or from anyone other than the end user. And we think that this is the most important feature for the future of MetaMask and for the future of Web3 development in general. Are you excited? I'm feeling already the excitement of this. So this sounds great, but how does it work? What I'm about to tell you is summarized from our documentation. So I've added a URL at the bottom of this slide, which you can visit to get the full story. A snap is a program that runs in an isolated or sandboxed environment inside of MetaMask. By default, it has no capabilities. It cannot access the user's information or their recovery phrase or anything else. A snap has to request permissions from the user at installation, such as access to the network, access to their disk, and so on. This is similar to how your browser will request access for your camera or your microphone in order to do a video call, or how a mobile phone application will request permissions when it installs. This is a don't trust, verify approach to applications that ensures that users are still in control of their wallet. And it allows you to build snaps without having to rely on us for approval. It's an agreement between you and the user. The reason we take such a cautious approach to snaps is because a snap can do a lot inside of MetaMask. A snap is very powerful. It can present its own API to websites, and it can use many of the same MetaMask methods that websites can call. Plus, it has access to a limited set of snap-exclusive methods so that a snap can go beyond what a dApp can currently do with MetaMask. Now, this probably sounds complex, but it's actually quite simple. A snap is simply an NPM package written in JavaScript, TypeScript, or even WebAssembly. If you know how to write JavaScript and you're familiar with Node.js and the Node Package Manager, then you can write a snap. And we provide the tools to make building, testing, and publishing your snaps easy. So now that you know how to build a snap, you're probably wondering why. Why should I build a snap? What's the big deal? Earlier, I said that this is the most important feature for the future of MetaMask, but this doesn't mean anything unless I can explain it. Before I can do that, though, I need to take a step back and talk about what a wallet is. At its core, a wallet supports a few basic functions. A wallet can store keys, and it can sign messages or transactions with those keys. And you might assume that a wallet would also make transactions, but you could even have a wallet that's air-gapped, and you use another application to broadcast those transactions after you sign them. However, MetaMask does a lot more than this. In its current form, MetaMask provides a lot of functionality, and this is not even a complete list of everything that MetaMask does. But let's look at this list together. MetaMask can connect to various chains and testnets. It can use various RPC providers to read and write to the blockchain. It can maintain an address book, view your transaction history, display tokens and manage a list of tokens, resolve names to addresses like with ENS, estimate and suggest gas fees, decipher transaction metadata, display prices based on real-time data, connect to hardware wallets, provide an API for dApps, and even buy, sell, and swap Ethereum and tokens right inside of the wallet. This is a lot of features. And there's more that I didn't even mention. See, MetaMask has a huge ecosystem of functionality, and yet there is so much more that it can be. I view MetaMask as the gateway to the decentralized web. The wallet is your browser to the blockchain. And there's only so much functionality that our team can build by ourselves. Let's say you're building a new hardware wallet, and this hardware wallet might be the next great hardware wallet on the market. You could wait for us to support it on top of all the other features that we're building, or you can add support for your hardware wallet yourself with a snap. Or let's say you're working on a new blockchain protocol that is EVM compatible, but it has some additional features that MetaMask doesn't already support. Or maybe you're even working on a protocol that is not EVM compatible. It's not like Ethereum, and you can't just support it with a custom RPC. You could build your own wallet application. You could spend months or even years making a wallet that's good enough to support your protocol and be useful for your users. Or you could add support with a snap and bring access to the tens of millions of users that use MetaMask today to your protocol. Think about all the things that you wish MetaMask could do. Maybe you wish it could support Bitcoin, or maybe you wish you could get price data for NFTs, or new ways to back up your keys. You can do all of this with Snaps. Snaps makes this possible. So let's look a little bit about how you can build with it. You can build with Snaps today using our Canary development branch of MetaMask called Flask. And I'm going to show you some examples so you can start building. So the first step is that you install Flask. You have to use Google Chrome. And if you already have MetaMask installed in Google Chrome, I recommend using a separate Chrome profile for installing Flask. I do not recommend using your secret recovery phrase that you use for your usual transactions and balance and so forth. Next, you can try our Hello Snap. It's at this URL. It's on our GitHub. And this Hello Snap is our Hello World application, and it also functions as a template that you can use to build your own snaps. You can run this if you have Flask installed. You can set it up locally, and when you run it, you'll see an application, a very simple application. And you can connect to this application with the first button, and you see a screen like this. And what it does in 2 steps is first it connects to the dApp that's provided by the snap, and then you'll see another window where you will install the snap, and it'll request a permission to show a confirmation. And after you install this snap, you click Send Hello, and you will see a window like this, which is a custom window coming from the snap. This is the snap running inside of MetaMask. And it will show a message, and it will say, this is a custom confirmation just for display purposes, but you can edit the snap source code to make it do something if you want to. Now, I invite you to do this. So next, you can customize this template. You can fork it and rename it. I named it to My Hello Snap. This is in my GitHub. You can modify the manifest file to match the information about your snap. Just change the URL to your Git URL. And you can modify the content. I went into index.js in the source folder, and I just modified the field for text area content. Said you can edit the snap source code to make it do something if you want to, and I added another sentence, like I just did, see? And then you build it and run it and install it, and this is the window that I got, with an extra sentence added. Now, this may not look very impressive, but if you really want to see what a snap is capable of, I invite you to try the Filecoin snap. Now, Filecoin is not an EVM-compatible chain. It's a different type of protocol, but it can use MetaMask to generate a Filecoin address with the snap. And it can send transactions and sign messages using MetaMask. You don't need a Filecoin wallet. You can just use this snap. So you can go to this address, and this is the snap that's actually published. It's on NPM, and when you install it from this URL, that's what you're installing. And this is after I installed it. I can see in this dApp that's provided, I actually have an address that's based on my recovery phrase in MetaMask. And this snap doesn't have access to my recovery phrase. What it does is it asks MetaMask, generate an address using this entropy for the Filecoin network. And I can see my balance. I send some Filecoin to myself, and then I can send it using this snap. So you can get started building today. Like I said, install Flask, read the documentation, check out the examples, and you can even join us in our GitHub discussion board, and you can ask any questions that you have, and I'll probably be the one there ready to answer. So before I close, I have to mention, at MetaMask, we are growing fast and we are hiring. We're a global company. You can be based anywhere. We have lots of roles to fill, and we welcome anyone to apply. I also have to give thanks, especially to my colleagues here, especially Jordan, who helped me prepare for this. And I have to give thanks to the staff of ETH Rio for putting this together, which we were so happy to support this event. And here's my contact info so you can get in touch with me. You can let me know what you're building, show me what you're doing on GitHub, post in our discussion board, and let's make Web3 amazing together. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Yes? I can't answer that. Any other questions? Any other questions? Right now we support Google Chrome, but we will eventually support all browsers that support MetaMask. Yes, she was asking why Google Chrome and not Brave, and we will eventually support more browsers, but for now, for the development build, we support Google Chrome. Any other questions? Yes?
Any chance of going outside of the Chrome environment, going mobile?
Yes, the plan is that eventually you'll be able to run snaps inside of the mobile application as well. Yes?
So you just showed like the snap from Filecoin. What avoids from me doing like a malicious Filecoin snap like similar to it? Because as far as I know, like you have to it's an implicit agreement between the user and the developer, right? My question is there any sort of verification like who is actually publishing these packages? Like are you checking from NPM if it's from like a verified account or something like that?
That's a great question. So the question was about verification and if we check what's being published to NPM and if there's multiple snaps that maybe support the same thing. So first of all, we want to make it so that anyone can build and that they don't have to rely on us. In certain cases, we may have to verify a snap or just check that it works as it's supposed to. You know, we also are very concerned about user safety, so this is something that we have to balance. But we do want to provide the ability, if multiple people want to build a snap for a certain protocol, we don't want to be the ones to be saying that one is better than the other, right? We want to allow developers to have the opportunity to build the best possible snap and not have to rely on us for sort of like blessing one versus the other. Any other questions? Go ahead.
How do you see other infrastructure solutions working with Snap? Currently you have consensus and you're also like, what do you see with the future of infrastructure solutions working with Snap?
Yes, that's a good question. So you're asking about other infrastructure solutions working with snaps. For some protocols, you would probably have to use another provider, maybe build some sort of light client or connect to different nodes. Obviously, right now with custom RPC networks, right, for some of the other blockchain protocols, they do use other infrastructure. So that's really a choice that you make as a developer. And really, it just comes down to whether or not you can support the amount of traffic that you would get with the MetaMask user base. Any other questions? Okay, thank you again. This has been wonderful.